Good afternoon, everybody. It is meteorologist Angel Weather Forecast, and welcome back to the video, guys. Today we're going to be talking about the severe weather that's moving through the part of the Midwest and part of the plains still, and it's going to continue for the next couple hours, and then it's going to start to calm down as it goes more into the north. But I just want to thank you guys so much for I'm so close to 1,100. I really can't even express how happy I am that I really hope I can get to 2,000 very soon. And yeah. So let's look at the active alerts. It's not going to be as big as a threat as it was yesterday. Yesterday was a 1 in 2 year storm, which doesn't really happen often to see, honestly. But we're going to have a general area of the areas that will really have the effect on this storm, stretching all the way to South Dakota, where they have these flood watches right here, and then we have some flood watches near the Springfield, Missouri area, Kansas City area, and then we have some more into the Iowa area, and then we have some more into the northern Kansas, and then we have some more in the northern Arkansas and Oklahoma area. And then in the big middle, we have some, in this bright green color, we do have flood warning, so that's where we can have the most amount of rain for the next couple days. And then in this right here, this is where we have the worst of it right here in this little circle, and it's really hard to see, you guys, but we have a tornado warning right here in a county, the feds for a county in Missouri, south central Missouri, more like southwestern Missouri. And then we have two counties in this dark red color right here. We have flash flood warnings, so that's where we can actually see the really good amounts of rain. And then we do have tornado watches in effect for northern Arkansas, or central and northern Arkansas, and then up into the counties that are next to the Missouri border. We have in these orange counties, we have severe thunderstorm warnings. Same thing in effect for the southwestern part of Missouri. And then we have some wind advisories in effect for many areas around this, because it's really going to be quite windy with the system. Alright, so let's check out the radar now. So we're going to have some really strong storms in the next hour or so in the Topeka, Kansas area, and near the Kansas City area. We're really going to have some strong storms in there. And then we're going to have in their system bring quite a bit of rain for the Colorado area. And then we're going to have that, that's where we see that band that really started to fall apart there. So that's why we don't have a huge chance of severe weather like yesterday. And as we go on, that band's going to start to intensify a bit, but it's going to be very small. So you can probably just, it's probably maybe a 10-mile diameter. So most likely, guys, if you're gonna get hit by this band, most likely not gonna last that long. Probably last about 5 minutes, and then next thing you know, you're gonna be out of it. But the thing is, it's really gonna bring some strong storms on the border of Arkansas and Oklahoma, and really up into the western part of Missouri. Really strong bands in there. And then we're going to have some strong bands for the Houston area and the Dallas area. And then we're going to have quite a bit of, this is where we had the flooding issues there for the Nebraska and northern Kansas area. And then southern Iowa can get quite a bit of rain too. Oops, did not mean to press that. Alright, so let's go to the next 8 hours. So the next 8 hours, we're going to have some strong, a strong band that's going to be in effect, or that's going to be in the Missouri area from the northwestern part to more into the south central part, and then we have potential strong bands heading to the Little Rock area, and then really strong bands in there. That could bring some really large hail in there in that south central little tip right here in this Nebraska area. That's where we can actually have some really strong bands in there, and then we're going to have some heavy rain surrounding it. As we go more into the around evening hours, we're going to have some wall clouds in here. You're really going to see it's going to look like we're going to have some really tall clouds in there that are going to look like this. So it's going to be like this. We're going to have some weird looking clouds in there. You can even tell by the radar and how it's looking like. You can just see how it goes like that, and then it turns around, and you really see how that the worst of the storm's right in the front. That's what wall clouds will look like on the radar. You really see that really strong bands moving to that St. Louis area, guys. That's where we can have the biggest threat, near that St. Louis area, and then some strong bands to the southern part of Missouri. And then this is where we have these bands really falling apart due to the moisture, going to make it fall apart. And that low pressure system that's right here, it's really going to be feeding this area. And then you see nothing right here. It's a very big difference than yesterday, guys. It's a tremendous difference, actually. And that's going to bring some strong bands to the Mississippi River area. Alright, so that's what's looking like the south, central, southeast. let's look at what's happening in the plains in the Midwest. So as we go on to tonight, we're really going to have really heavy rain right here in the Nebraska area and northern Kansas, and really strong bands, or not really bands, but really strong and heavy rain into the north central part of Iowa. And then we can see the severe weather for the south central part. Sorry, for the southeastern part of Iowa. And then we're really going to see those wall clouds as we go into tonight. We're going to have some rare severe weather up into the northern Iowa area and southern Wisconsin. This is where we're going to have the possibilities of flooding. So we're going to have quite a difference here. We're going to have severe weather here, and then we're going to have the possible flooding here. So if it's really going to depend on where you guys are living, and then we can have some really strong rain actually more into that eastern part of South Dakota. And then those wall clouds will actually hit parts of Chicago and end up in Indianapolis with some scattered rain showers. And then tomorrow we're going to have some scattered rain. We're going to have a bit of a band actually stretching from the northern part of Minnesota into the Dakotas. And then we're going to have around it like some small little separate bands. Alright, so let's check out the what the Storm Prediction Center actually has. So yes, it's going to be enhanced risk, quite a good chance of severe weather, but again, not going to be a high or a moderate. That was just a yesterday again, like I said. But the strongest storms again will be near that St. Louis area, and then the northern part of Arkansas will actually have those tornado watches, and then the slight chance will go around. But the areas in the marginal risk, let's go ahead and check out those areas. So we have a population of 8 million in there. We have actually Memphis, Shreveport. We have Des Moines, Iowa, Overland Park, Kansas, and Evansville, Indiana. So we're actually going to get into the Midwest area and part of Illinois and Indiana. We're going to get into that Ohio Valley too. And then also, if we go into the slight chance now, that's where we have a bit of an area that's going to get a bit more of these bands and have a bigger chance of having severe weather. So we're going to have Kansas City, Omaha, Wichita, Lincoln, and Springfield. So we're going to have the severe weather just skinning the Kansas City. Or sorry guys, the Kansas City is in the slide. I'm talking about St. Louis here. Sorry if I said Kansas City, I mean St. Louis when the radar, I got really confused. Alright, so the area that's in the bullseye will be the St. Louis area. That's what I meant. That's what I tend to mean. And then so the enhanced risk is going to have the worst severe weather today, and the biggest chance of getting it in the biggest bands that those wall clouds will really affect these areas. And the dew points will be quite high, so we're going to have the possibilities of those wall clouds for the intensify. But we're going to have St. Louis, Little Rock, Columbia, St. Charles, Missouri, and North Little Rock, Arkansas. So quite some well-known cities like St. Louis and Little Rock. We're going to have those areas in there. So that's where we have the biggest chance of severe weather. Let's check out the summary, though, so you guys can have just a summary of what's going to go on. So we're going to have severe thunderstorm risk continues across parts of the Missouri and western Illinois and westward into the portions of Central Plains, southward into the Arklatex region. Damaging winds, large hail, and a few tornadoes may occur again. The biggest chance of getting all that stuff again will be in this enhanced risk. And if you're wondering why Texas and Oklahoma are getting banned, but not in any type of threat, it's because, like we saw on that radar, it really starts to fall apart. The moisture, it's going to bring more of a light rain than severe weather. And then if we go into tomorrow, it's really going to start to fall apart. We're just going to have those it's going to be quite a calm day tomorrow. Just going to have some possibilities of some marginal risk for the plains. Not going to be a huge deal tomorrow. It's really going to fall apart. Again, we're going to have, just going to refresh. We're going to have all that rain move up here, and it's going to over here, and then we're just going to have some little bands right here. But we're going to have a marginal risk in effect for parts of the Oklahoma City area, Tulsa, and Wichita. And then we're going to have a slight chance, which might have those maybe possibilities of some little bands that are more severe. That is effect for Kansas City, Overland, Kansas City, Topeka, or it's Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas. And then we're going to have Topeka and Olathe, Kansas. So all those in that Kansas range. Alright, so let's check out the amount of rain, because we're going to actually have some possible flooding. We're going to have two sides of this, guys. We're going to have that severe weather side, and then we're going to have the flooding side, guys. So let's go ahead and get into what's going to be at the end of the week, or at the end of Friday. We're going to have some areas that can have the most amount of rain. It's going to be south of the Little Rock area, and then right here near that Kansas City area. That's where we're going to have some really good amounts of rain. And as we go in, it's really going to have a less amount into the Midwest area as it really starts to fall apart. It's going to bring more of that rain into the Dakotas area. That we're going to actually have up to 2.5 inches over there, up to 1.5 into that Dakotas area, and then we're going to have up to 4.5 inches near that St. Louis, or that near that Kansas City area. The St. Louis area can actually get about 2.5 inches there, possibly maybe even just maybe 2 only, and then south of the Little Rock area can actually have 4 inches, and mostly around that can get less than an inch or so. So it's going to be in general in this area that's going to get the most amount of rain effect for this with the storm. So let's go check out what's gonna let's check out the Cape, see what you guys can expect and how high it can reach. So it's really starting to fall apart and as we speak right now, but we're still gonna have some high energy levels that can possibly bring, or can maybe possibly cause a possibly having a severe weather. Maybe some producing more bands than possible, but or than expected. But we have some high 4,000s, some mid 4,000s, and then some really high 3,000s there near the Victoria area, 4,500. But let's go all the way to 11 p.m. So those people who like to stay up late, we can have near that Shreveport area in north central Louisiana, 2,800, and then we have a separate band with some very low 4,000s. So we go all the way to tomorrow though. Let's go to 2 p.m. tomorrow. We're going to have actually tremendous difference. And what's going to happen, really high numbers. We're going to have some really high numbers up in that Texas area, 4,800, 4,000, Little Rock, 4,000, 4,000, and then just near that Mississippi River, some very low 4,000s, and then near the Abilene area just south, we're going to have some mid 5,000 or mid 4,000s. That's going to stretch all the way to that Memphis area. We'll go to 8 p.m. tomorrow. It starts to get a lot worse, guys. It's really going to have a lot more energy, even though it's not going to be tremendous amount. Thunderstorms, we're going to have some really high numbers in there. We're going to have some 5,300s, 5,400 near that San Antonio area, near that Wichita Falls area. Wichita Falls is going to be at 5,400, 5,500, guys. 5,600, really high numbers. And then we're going to have north of the Oklahoma City area, 5,000, 5,200, Oklahoma City at 4,200, and then south of it, we're going to have some mid 5,000, and then near the Little Rock or near the Memphis area, some really high 3,000s and 4,000s. Let's go 11 p.m. Tomorrow. We're going to see a bit of a calmer, some calm. And then we're gonna have the highest numbers move into near that St. Louis area. We're gonna have 2,000 or 3,000. We're gonna have 3,700 near the border of Illinois. And then if we go near the Wichita area, we're gonna have some very low 3,000s. And then tomorrow at 8 p.m. we're gonna have some 3,000s to 4,000s into the plains, and then it's gonna take a calm into the as we go into Thursday. Alright guys, or Thursday night. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel. My goal is 10,000 subscribers again, so please help me out, guys. Send this video to anybody who's that's gonna get hit by this storm. So yeah, see you guys in the next video, and bye.